Hey, how you doing today? I just got back from skiing. We had over a foot of snow 2 nights ago. We had a foot of snow in the valley where I live, and up in the mountains there was an extra 3 to 4 feet probably, just from that one snowfall. Anyway, the sneezing was good, but the skiing was great too, especially in the lodge. I do my skiing. I have chairlift passes and day passes and so forth. And I'm a great skier, but I like to hang out in the lodge up there with the great big huge fire going in the fireplace, and I'm sitting there sipping on hot chocolate and marshmallows, and there's women that come over and start talking to me in the lounge area that's in front of the fireplace area. And it's really a neat atmosphere. There's some neat music in the background, soft music, kind of almost a romantic type of music in the background. And anyway, there's women that come up and sit down close to me, and then they start a conversation with me. I mean, why wouldn't they? Look at this, huh? And look at this neat sweater I've got on, huh? If this doesn't say ski lodge, baby, I don't know what does. But anyway, they come up to me and they start talking about things, and it's just really a fun time. Sometimes I have so many women around me. I mean, there's like tables and chairs and things, and a lot of the women have to pull up chairs from other tables to come up so they can talk to me. And it's like we had a manager one time that came up and said, look, you can't use all these chairs. Why don't you go in the conference room, one of the conference rooms in here? So we we ended up in one of the conference rooms, just kind of chilling with our hot chocolate and cocoa. Of course, I got half their numbers, phone numbers before I left, and it was a fantastic time. It's a great time, I turn 68 tomorrow. I know that's old. It's old for most of you, but it's not for me. Up here, I think I'm like 29. I still like the women, baby. Beautiful, beautiful. I'm 68. That's middle age, isn't it? I know I've had problems, heart attacks and things, but doesn't everybody have problems in their life? I have problems. At least they're not. At least I've never had mental problems. I know you have. You've not only had them, you're still having them. You're still having episodes of them. Anyway, I've been thinking about near-death experiences and different things like that. And Kat Kerr, I saw Kat Kerr during the inauguration. I guess it was the prayer breakfast that she gave the prayer, or one of the prayers, I don't know which. But I was actually proud of her, to be honest with you. I think she went on a little bit too much, but I think the things that she said were good, and I'm glad that she likes Trump like I do. I think Trump's fantastic. I think his family's fantastic. But I say good on you, Kat, for doing a good job and not being nervous. You didn't sound like that you were nervous at all. And I, for one, was proud of you. I really was. But anyway, I've been looking at some of these near-death experiences, and I really believe that some people do have near-death experiences. But I do believe that some of them are full of crap. I think there's a lot of people out there that claim they have near-death experiences just to get the to be in the limelight, and to have all this attention around them. and to sell books. You know, they write books and they sell books. I thought if I had a near-death experience, that would, you know, other than going around and talk at the different talk shows or whatever and telling about my experience, I guess the only other thing I could do is to write a book and let people read it in a book form. So I don't fault people writing books, because I think that's one of the only ways that you can get the message of your experience out into the world. So I don't fault people with that. What I do fault people with is them making hundreds of thousands of dollars or millions of dollars doing that. I don't think these people should be living in huge mansions. I don't think these people should be buying, you know, $100,000 Mercedes Benz. I think if they do make a lot of money on their books or whatever, then they should help the poor. Period. You know, maybe help people with medical bills or whatever. You know, the people that are struggling. But just help people. You know. I don't think God's too impressed, and I know I'm not impressed, by people that make hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not millions, talking about their story. I can make up a story. I had a heart attack a couple of years ago, and I can make up a story. Today, I can make up a story that people would believe. I know they would. I could talk about, you know, 2 years ago I had a heart attack, and during the operation, I went to heaven. You know, I really did. I'm just making this up. You know, I went to heaven. I saw this light. First I could hear the doctors talking. I could see them at first when I was wheeled into the hospital, and then all of a sudden, you know, I saw the different lights and the people that wore the masks and different things, the doctors and surgeons, and I could hear them talking to some degree, and then I was just out of it. But during that time, I, like a lot of other people, I saw light, and I you know, have always thought that I should go towards the light because I don't like darkness. And I went towards the light, and blah 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 blah. I could make up a fantastic story, and I guarantee that a lot of people out there in YouTube land would believe it. I'll bet you. You know, I don't have money to bet, but I'll still bet you. I'll bet you that I could come up with a story, and even write a book that I could make millions of dollars on. I bet I could start my own church. I bet I could start my own church, or whatever you call it. What do they call it? Not congregation. Oh, it slips my mind. But I could start my own church, and be a pastor of my church, and within 5 years I'd be pulling in so much money from offerings and seeds. You know, plant seeds, you know, and help the ministry grow. You know, help the ministry grow, and show the Lord, you know, that you love Him, and that you have faith in Him, you have confidence in Him, and bless the ministry by donating your money. You know, your filthy, evil money, and you'll receive several fold back to you in blessings. Blessings from heaven. I know you will. If you give with a sincere heart, and don't expect blessings, but you want to give for the sake of giving because you love God, then it's an automatic thing. You'll be bombarded with blessings that you won't even, you have so many blessings that there's not going to be enough room to even receive them all. But I guarantee that I could, I could give you a line of bullshit as long as my left arm. I really could, or my right arm. It's just my left, my right. It's like a mirror. I don't know which is which. Okay, I could give you a line of bullshit as long as my arms, and you'd buy it. Guaranteed, baby. I could tell you about near-death experiences. I could start my own church, and within 5 years, I'd be a multimillionaire, if not sooner. I guarantee it. Maybe I should do that. I've got enough time. I'll tell you why I'm not going to do it, because it's wrong. It's committing false witness, bearing false witness. It's lying. It's deceiving people. It's taking money from innocent people, gullible people, and putting it in my pocket. My pocket where it belongs, baby. Beautiful. Beautiful. I want your evil, filthy money. Why wouldn't I want your evil, filthy money? It's not going to do you any good. Money's not going to buy you into heaven, is it? No. But give it to me. It might buy me into heaven. Maybe I can, give a few quarters and dimes to people in need along the way, baby. Maybe I can go out and, get some prostitutes. No, not for the evil act, no. Just to talk to them, kind of chill out with them. And maybe I can, give them a few bucks just to kind of, make it through the week. Well, they might come over and give me a couple of kisses, a couple of hugs, Maybe give me a lap dance with her clothes on or something. But I have good intentions, really. Woo! But I guarantee I can make up a near-death experience that will knock your socks off, and I could be a pastor in my own church, and I guarantee it. I know I talk a lot of bullshit, but I do. There are videos that I put on that I'm sincere as can be, like the Susan Boyle video, the singer. I was sincere in that. I was sincere on the things that have happened to me, and I'm going to tell you more about miracles that have happened to me, and I'm completely sincere about them. This video, I'll tell you, is bullshit because it's fun. When there's something that's serious, I'll tell you about it. In regards to God and miracles and blessings and prayer that I've had in my life that I want to share with you, I'll tell you that it's true, and it is true. The things I tell you are true. But along the way, I'm going to have some fun with you, and I'm also going to tell you that I think that as dumb as you think I am, and you have no idea how dumb I am, or how smart I am, huh? Even better. But I could do the near-death experience thing. I could write a book. I could start my own ministry, and I would be a flippin' millionaire in 5 years, guaranteed. One thing that worries me about Kat, I like Kat, I really do. I don't know of anybody that I like to listen to more than Kat Kerr. I love what she says about heaven. I think she goes, as I've stated before, I think she exaggerates things, but I don't think she has ill intentions. I don't think that she's evil. But I really enjoy listening to her because the things that she says about heaven, whether it's Jello Land or whatever, I don't know. Some things are far out. It's possible. But there's a lot of things that she says that I want to believe. And maybe that's the lure of it. I don't know. You know, maybe she says things like that so she can become popular, and she throws things out there that people want to believe in because they want to have something to believe in, something to hold on to, and you know, and so it could be a lure. I'm not sure if it is or not, but I don't. I really believe that Kat believes what she's saying. But I'm not so sure that what she says is 100% true. But I don't believe that she is an evil person. Does that make sense? That maybe she says things that aren't true, and that she's not an evil person? I don't know. I think she loves God. I think she despises evil, and I think for the most part, what she says is good. And I really enjoy listening to her. I don't know of anybody that I enjoy listening to more than her. And I like the things that she talks about. I like the you know, I mean, as far as not wanting to darkness, and not to, in the things you put out in word form or thought form or whatever, kind of attracts that energy back to you, whether it's a dark energy or light energy of God. I think that she talks about so many true things, and so many things that we hope for. None of us really know. I don't know. I don't know if Kat's telling the truth about heaven. I find it hard, as I've said in other videos, that God favors her that so much over Moses, for instance, or any of the prophets, that she's on a buddy-buddy system with God and Jesus, where they just pop in her house once in a while to say hi, and you know, she's been up to heaven thousands of times or whatever, and you know, I just candy in the throne room, and you know, I don't know. You know, I find it hard to believe that God drives a Harley Davidson, for instance. You know, things like that. It's hard for me to believe, and I'll be honest with you. The thing that really worries me about everything that Kat Kerr says is that there's no emotion. I've watched hours and hours of her, and there's no emotion. There's no tearing up or almost crying. I know that if I went to heaven once, not to mention thousands of times, and I spoke with God, I sat on His lap, and I was blessed enough to go to heaven and to experience all this stuff, all this miracle stuff that God has for us, and that I was the privileged one to go and see everything and to tell people on earth about it, God's children on earth about it. I would think that was such a beautiful thing and such a beautiful blessing for me. How could you not tear up? How could you not cry? I mean, to honestly think about it. If you went to heaven and you saw God, and God was nice to you, and He showered you with love and acceptance, and you met Christ, and you met the ancient 12 apostles, you met all these people, you saw how happy people were in heaven, and you saw how terrible it was in hell, and that happened to you, don't you think that you would cry? Don't you think that you would tear up telling people about it? I know I would. Of course, I'm a crybaby. But I know 100% that through the process of telling people my experiences, going to heaven, sitting on the lap of God, doing things with God, looking at the things that God has blessed other people with that have gone to heaven, I know that I would tear up and that I would cry. I'd be a ball baby. And I know that I am. But if it happened, I would be. If it happened, I would be. I've seen Kat almost tear up, and in her voice. I did see it. I have to be honest. I did see it once. It wasn't. It didn't go on to. It just kind of happened a little bit. But I'm really surprised that that it doesn't happen more. That I don't see the almost to a point of crying and the tearing up and the quivering in voice. Yes, it could be fake if you did that. I guarantee when I do it, it's not fake. I promise you that it's not fake when I do it. And I know that I'm a bowl baby. I know I am. But it just surprises me that there isn't that in the things that she says. There's a lot of hyper stuff and happy stuff and woo-woo, that kind of stuff, which is good, but where is the tenderness? Seriously, where is the tenderness? Now, after I've said this, if Kat incorporates the almost crying and the quivering in their voice and that, then I'll know that she's incorporating that to con people, because because I don't see it in the things that she has said hours and hours and hours worth. I don't see it. So all of a sudden, if she starts it now, I'll know it's a con. But there's no way of really knowing if Kat went to heaven. There just isn't. How do we know? We can believe it. We can believe. We can believe anything. I can believe that Bill across the street here is the best husband on the face of the earth. I don't know that he is. I can believe that he is. His wife said he was. How do I know? I don't sleep there at night. I'm not with him 24/7. How do I know that he's the best husband on earth? I don't know. Why? Because I haven't experienced it. I don't know that Aunt Betty down here at the end of the street here makes the best bundt cakes. I don't know that. I've never tasted them. How do I know she does? There's people that believe that she does, maybe. I don't know. But don't you have to eat her bundt cake in order to really think it's the best cake? Anyway, there's getting back to the near-death experiences. I do believe that there's some near-death experiences that I've seen on YouTube that I believe. One of them is Howard Storm. And there's another one. There's another one that was kind of talks like an Aussie, and he had a near-death experience in the water, I believe. I can't remember his name right now, but I do remember Howard Storm. And the reason I believe him is because I've watched him, and I've watched him tear up, and I've watched him to a point of crying. And I just have a feeling that he is telling the truth. And there's others. There's a boy called Alex Malarkey, and Malarkey is correct, boys and girls. He wrote a book of his near-death experience when he was a boy, and the book is called The Boy Who Came Back from Heaven. And apparently his parents and him profited. I don't know. This is just what I heard. I guess they sold 10 million copies of the book or something, and if he just got a dollar profit on each book he sold, there's $1 million right there. But supposedly this family is a millionaire because of this book. And later on in life, this boy, Alex Malarkey, confessed that the book's a fake, that he never went to heaven, and everything's a lie. Look it up on YouTube. There's also a boy called Colton Burple. I didn't mean that. I take that back. Anyways, his name's Carlton Burpo, and he's also a boy that claims he went to heaven. And I've watched interviews of him and his father, and I thought that he was full of BS. And I watched some more of him the other night, and some guy was pointing out the contradictions that he has in his story. And one interview, he was saying how vivid his memory was of heaven, how vivid it was, and it's something he'll always remember and has never forgot. Is very vivid in his mind, the heaven part of it. And then 3 weeks later, he had another interview, and he says, it's hard for me to remember exactly what it was. I don't recollect everything because I was only 4 years old. He was like 10 or 11 at the time. So how can you have a vivid memory one day and 3 weeks later? Well, it's hard for me to remember. I was only 4. How can that be? I think he's full of shit. But I say that in a nice way. I really do. No, I'll say it in a nicer way. I think he's full of shit. And that's as bad as nice as I can get, boys and girls. It really is. Anyway, that's my bitch for the day, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters. Praise the Lord, brothers and sisters. Praise you want a blessing, don't you, today, boys and girls, brothers and sisters? You want a blessing today? Hallelujah, hallelujah. Praise the Lord. Yes, sir. You want a blessing? You have to plant a seed in order for anything to grow. If you want a tulip in the springtime, you have to plant a seed. You put the bulb in. You put the little top towards the sky. About 6 inches down. And then you hope and you have faith that someday, brothers and sisters, someday, that bulb, that seed is going to grow into a tulip. Into a tulip that's going to raise to heaven. Glorified beauty. And the petals and the colors. It's going to bless your life. It's going to bless your neighbor's life for weeks. For weeks, but you have to have faith, brothers and sisters. You have to have faith that what you plant one day, that's in the fall, boys and girls, that one day that seed, that bulb, is going to rise up to heaven in your yard. It's going to rise up to heaven in your heavenly yard. Yes, sir. And you're going to love that, and you're going to realize it was a blessing. So if you send money, I know you're struggling. Some people are out there, but you've probably got a 10 spot in the drawer, maybe in a book. Maybe one of you women out there, one of you grandmothers out there may have a $10 bill or maybe some quarters up in the cookie jar. You're not using it. How about getting it down from the cookie jar or getting that $10 bill out of your wallet, out of your purse? You're not going to use it. You don't need a Red Bull, and use that money to plant a seed of faith, brothers and sisters, a seed of faith that you'll put out vibrations of your love and your trust in God that He'll bless your life. You don't know how He's going to bless your life. You put a faith seed of $100, and I guarantee, brothers and sisters, I guarantee it because I've seen it. I've seen it over and over and over again. That $100 is going to give you tenfold, maybe 20-fold of blessings. It really is. Hang on, let me take this call. Hello? Hi, Paul. Can I call you back in a few minutes? Oh, okay, thanks. See ya. Bye. Where was I? Anyway, you're going to get tenfold, maybe 20-fold of blessings. In other words, to put it in a more simple way, your $100 is going to mushroom into at least $1,000 worth of blessings. Now, what do you want? Do you want $100 sitting in the drawer, or do you want $1,000 worth of blessings coming down from heaven? Are you people crazy? Of course you want $1,000 in blessings, don't you? Huh? Why? Because you're just that kind of a guy, or you're just that kind of a woman. It's not rocket science. Here's $100, and here's $1,000. Duh! But do the right thing. I don't need your money. Do I look like, seriously, do I look like a person or a pastor that needs your money? I mean, look at the sweater I've got on, you know? Do you think I got this at a thrift store? This was $65 at Macy's. And it was my money. It wasn't your money, brothers and sisters. If you send money to me, it doesn't go to me. I promise you 100% that it doesn't go to me. Not one dime goes to me. It goes to the ministry. So we can preach the good word. And the good word is do the right thing, live by the golden rule, and send some money as a seed. When you send that money, it doesn't go through the mail as money and reach the destination in money. It goes as a seed, as faith. Faith in what? Faith in God. Faith in God and doing the right thing because you're a child of God. So send your money in, and we'll make sure that money goes to the poor, and it will go to a place in this world and to people in this world that need that money. You know? So anyway, I hope you have a good week, boys and girls, and ladies and gentlemen, and brothers and sisters. Have a good week, and instead of thinking about yourself all the time, instead of thinking about yourself and what you can do for yourself, start thinking about me and what you can do for me. Do you understand? What a bunch of morons. Are we still on the air?